In this video, let's take a look at how we can group tracks together. And the reason for doing this is to simplify tasks in your mixing process. For example, grouping all the drums together so that you can move just one fader and they all move relatively to that volume. So just giving you that quick and easy control over numerous tracks in one go. So just before demonstrating that, I just want to quickly take these drums and just randomly move their faders to different volumes. And the reason I'm doing this is just when I get into the grouping, I'm going to show you exactly how that works and how it can be beneficial to you in the mixing process. Cool, so I think that's all good. Now, another thing I just want to point out is if you double click a track, it changes the width. So it narrows the width. If you click it again, it expands it. So just so that we can see all these drums, I'm just going to double click on them to make them smaller. Cool, so that's all the drums. Now, to group tracks together, all you need to do, you've got this blank bar here, and you just draw on it and draw to that last track. It brings up this track bus group dialog window. I can give it a name. Let's call it drums. And then I can choose what I want to group together. I'm happy about grouping all of these together, so I'll just leave them ticked. And I can also set the color. So now we've got a drum group. And watch this. If I pick one fader and move it, it's moving all the faders together because they all group together. And no matter what level they were set at, it's moving them relatively to each other by just one fader. And this really just makes life a lot easier, especially with a section where there's numerous tracks together and they all relate to the same thing, like this, where they're all the drums. You can just group them together, and maybe you need to change the volume by 2 dB, just bring them down. But if you want to temporarily disable the group, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can hold down Shift if you want to make changes to one track. So if I hold down Shift, I can edit that track, and then when I let go, they're grouped again. Or you can click this, it goes gray, that means the group is disabled. You can make your changes and then enable the group again. So let's go through the rest of the session I've got here and group other elements together. Over here, I've got percussions. And you know what? I actually want to include this in the drum group. I can just take that and extend it out. And now the percussion is in that drum group as well. Going through the rest, here are the acoustic guitars. Maybe make a separate group for that. Acoustic. Can leave it as green, keep everything else ticked. Then these are the electric guitars, so let's just call them guitars. And I'll include those solo guitars as well. Make this blue. What else we got here? We got piano, and then these vocal tracks, maybe group the vocals together. Awesome. So now, let me just move this mix bus a bit closed so that we can see more of the channel strips. So now we've got our groups down here. You can see if I want to show just the drums, I can use the same as I did with the tracks, where this would hide tracks, I can hide groups. So let's say I only want to see the drums. Now we've got just the drums. It's including the bass and piano because I didn't add them to a group. And then let's say I just want to see the acoustics. There we go. There's the acoustics. Just the guitars. And then maybe the drums, guitars, and vocals. So you can see how you can manage your groups by grouping things together so that you've got total control over all the faders, plus how you can show and hide different groups using the show and hide facility over here. And like I mentioned in the beginning, this really just helps you work more efficiently through your session, especially when you have a project that starts building up quite a few tracks. Now, in the next video, let's start getting into some mixing and start talking about the metering of your tracks and doing some gain staging. Catch you in the next video.